And welcome in, everyone, to our Cracked Racquets live show pre-gaming the 2023 NCAA Division I Women's Final. Now, unlike most pre-game, we don't have any booze to thoroughly enjoy the moment, but we do have a new guest making not his first appearance on a Cracked Racquets platform, but the first time I've dragged him and forced him to be subjected to all things me, I suppose, here during one of our Cracked Racquets show. It is our Cracked Racquets intern who has been killing it here all week long at the NCAA tournament, Archit Suresh, joining me to, again, offer some final thoughts before tonight's Division I Women's Team Final, North Carolina versus North Carolina State. Archit, we got 8 minutes till the start of the match on Tennis Channel, so let's just get right into it. What is the most intriguing matchup for you in tonight's battle?
Well, most intriguing, I'd have to say the matchup at 6.
Okay.
I feel like that's where it's going to come down to. I don't know, with the cheat code that we've established with
Diana Schneider at 1, very
Yes.
fair.
Yeah, absolutely. Diana Schneider at 1, and then NC State doubles, I favor them pretty heavily. I'm racking my brain trying to think of other spots that NC State can get wins. I mean, it's the race to 4, as it always is. So 2 to 4, how are we going to get there? That's probably the biggest question there is.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. Obviously, for Diana Schneider, who's lost 1 game in 2 matches over the course of her 2 matches here in Orlando. NC State, of course, knocking out Iowa State 4-3. They then, in the semifinals, I thought it was pretty comfortable over Stanford. Never really pushed them, did the Cardinal. And, again, that's a really deep Stanford team in singles as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, obviously, North Carolina, just 1 loss this season. They earned victories over in the Elite Eight. Who'd they play in the Elite Eight? Texas. See, there's just been so many matches. They beat Texas in the Elite Eight. Last night kind of rolled through Georgia for the 3rd time this season. I didn't think we really saw them tested. It's so interesting because, of course, NC State played this North Carolina team a couple of weeks ago, ACC tournament final. They cleaned North Carolina's clock. They won doubles and 5 first sets in that match. They won 3 straight set singles matches. People don't do that to the Tar Heels ever over the course of the past decade. And, again, at the same time, some scholars would argue that's the biggest blessing that could have happened to Coach Calvis, to take that loss, to, I don't want to say have his team be humbled, but to realize, hey, there is someone out there who's as good as you. And I know this is a silly thing. I think the matchup I'm looking forward to most is just mentally. Like, what is the edge this North Carolina team has? Because North Carolina is the perennial frontrunner in all of women's college tennis. And yet, you can make a case tonight that they're the underdog after NC State gave them the business with Diana Schneider in the ACC tournament final. It's going to be really good tennis. I promise you that much. And yeah, I mean, look, more broadly, I guess I would ask you, Archie, because you got to see some of these matches more so in person. Now, of course, we were fortunate enough to call some of them. Who's looked better to you with your eyes? Because sometimes it really is an eye test sport.
Well, if it is the eye test, to me, it's North Carolina. I think they've looked a little better, especially when you're looking at NC State's match against Iowa State earlier this year. I don't think they look particularly great. I feel like Simon Earnshaw will be the first to tell you that. I don't think that UNC was really tested by Georgia. Physically, I don't think they had anything left in the tank. I mean, Leah Ma, Dasha Vidmanova were really hampered at 1 and 2, and their doubles just isn't up to par. So if you're already starting at that hole with Fiona Crawley at 2 and just the depth that UNC has, I think they are coming in a little fresher, both maybe physically and mentally, if that's what we're looking at.
Sure.
I think that's played a part in plenty of years past, but we'll see how it goes. But I do like UNC, I think.
Yeah, I also think the wild card and the variable we have unequivocally is weather. Like, as I walked outside and you were with me as we made a little push, it was breezy. Like, it wasn't it was starting to, the sort of calm before the storm that so frequently sets in here in a late May day in Florida. You felt that calm.
Yeah,
and I do wonder again, because it's funny, as we're speaking now, you see the sunshine coming up behind us in the window. Like, there are a lot of clouds in the sky, and yet when the sun hits you, oh my God, it's hot, it's humid. It's a stupid thing, but in those conditions, I kind of favor the aggressors, right? Like the aggressive game style. We know what we're getting for NC State. Players like Rajecki in these conditions, obviously Schneider in these conditions have been exceptional. I think that like it for me. If Rajecki straight sets Tan Gillig like she did in the ACC tournament, I think North Carolina is in some serious trouble. I do. And I guess my question to you here is, you think we're going to see Abby Forbes in the singles lineup today, or you think Abby Forbes will, you think they're going to pull Forbes once again?
I think they're pulling her. I'm going with the DNP again. I don't know. Maybe if they want someone fresh in the lineup, they can go with that, but I wouldn't bet on it. I'm going to say, going back to what you were saying about favoring offensive tennis, it's like the Kentucky men were saying on court yesterday, offense beats defense, offense beats defense.
Yeah, sure.
Offense didn't particularly win for the Kentucky men yesterday, but you get the idea. I mean, if it's a battle between UNC and NC State, physically, I favor UNC.
Yeah, I do wonder, like, just again, look, someone's walking away with a first national title. I do think that's an amazing thing. And you look for this NC State program under Simon Earnshaw, their ability to turn things around in less than a decade. I mean, this is a program, no one really wanted to touch. And a credit to Simon Earnshaw, who is winning all sorts of national championships at Armstrong. He makes that decision to take that NC State job, brings his former player, assistant David Secker, with him. In 7 years, he's become the winningest coach in program history. In 7 years, he has this team competing for their first national championship. He has them as the reigning NCAA doubles champion with Jada Daniel and Al Miller. Now Miller, of course, and Rajecki winning the ITA All-American. Yeah, let's just go through the match calculus. We'll do that to end today's show. We'll go all the way through. We'll matchup by matchup, give you a quick preview here as, again, top of the hour. We'll have the start of that match on Tennis Channel. All right, number one doubles, Smith, Schneider taking on Forbes, Crawley. Who you got?
Well, I'm a simple man. I see a WTA top 100 player on a doubles court. I'm going with that team, so I'll go NC State there.
You're not a simple man. Don't sell yourself short. Actually, there's nothing wrong with simplicity. Yeah. You are a simple man, Archit.
Okay, well. Yeah, see, this is why they call me the intern.
Yeah, exactly. We get to just beat. It's nice to have someone to work the material on. All right. I think it's a fair choice. I got no argument, no qualm there. And we're not on the call, so I can make predictions.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, exactly.
No evading predictions here. Give us the match calculus.
I'll give you one. Who is it? It's Gillig and Scotty now at the number 2 position, taking on Miller and Rajecki. Who you got?
I'm going to go Gillig, Scotty.
I am too. Miller and Rajecki have not played well here in Orlando thus far. And, again, for them to lose 3 matches in a row, they were down match points in the quarters, lost yesterday. That's the wrong bet to make statistically. I think I'm going to go UNC at 2 doubles, and then it comes down to 3. Brantmeyer, Crawley, Dittman versus Abrams, Rensheli. I think I'm leaning UNC at 3.
Well, actually, yeah. Now that you've laid it out, you might. I might.
Well, here's the thing: 2's the swing doubles. That's what we're just. It's very, very evident, right? That 2 doubles is the swing doubles.
Yeah. I said earlier I favor NC State in doubles, but I'm looking at the rosters, looking at the lineup. I might lean UNC with you.
If UNC wins the doubles, they're winning this match. Like
absolutely, it has to start with NC State capturing doubles and one with Schneider, and then finding a way to get to. I'm not even 100% convinced that they get to 4.
Yeah, sure.
But we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I think that's fair. And, again, I think we should keep going just all the way through, and we'll go a little quicker here as the match is, again, starting here at the top of the hour. Alex Gruskin, Archit Suresh. So we say 1-0 North Carolina after doubles. That's what I'm going to say. I agree with Brian Rosenthal in the chat. NC State is probably like minus 200 if you were making odds in the doubles point. And that 2 doubles to me screams the swing set.
Yeah.
Schneider versus Brantmeyer.
Schneider.
She's lost one game. You're a fool if you pick anyone else. I think Crawley beats Smith.
Yeah.
So it's 1-1 through singles. Gillig, Rajecki, you want to give me a pick? Rajecki's been so clutch.
Rajecki has been clutch. It feels like a vibes pick, but I'm going with Rajecki.
Yeah, just Carson hasn't played her best, but
yeah.
I don't know, man. That one's really, really close. 4 is a must for Scotty or Forbes over Rensheli. Like, North Carolina has to have that.
Yes.
5. Well, this is assuming, again, they pull Forbes. We'll assume they do, as they've done so far in both of their matches. Tran at 5 versus Abrams. I don't know, man. It's a good match. I guess I'd lean Tran, and then look, Dittman has been as good as anyone not named Schneider in the lineup. 2-0, obviously, here for NC State in Orlando.
If you want, we can go rock, paper, scissors, and then decide on
Dittman has to probably beat Yarlagadda for NC State to win this match.
And that's why I said it felt like the swing match. That's why it's coming down to it. I feel like
Yeah.
that's the most important point. If NC State's not finding a win at 6, it doesn't matter that say they come out and win doubles and win at
Yeah.
1 with Schneider. They got to find 2 more, and I think 6 is the pathway.
See, I think Tran versus Abrams is maybe the one I'm watching because Abrams played so well at the ACC tournament, and yet on paper that's a match you probably lean Riley Tran, right? Like,
yeah,
it's a really fun one to monitor. Look, it's going to be a really fun match overall. With that said, we've projected the calculus. Archit, straight up, give me a pick.
I'm gonna go UNC 4-2.
Took it right out of my mouth. We really have spent a lot of time together this week.
Yeah, maybe a little too much for me, but
yeah, that's an amen, brother. Yeah, UNC 4-2 is the pick. That's what we'll stick with. I just think it's going to be really good, though. Either way, NC State's right there, and it's not going to shock me. You know what? I'll go UNC 4-3, just so we're not the same.
Okay. Who's clinching, Gruskin? I hate to put you on the spot, but I actually love it. So
I'm thinking. I'll go Tran over Abrams. I think Riley Tran ends up clinching it. 4-3 victory for the Tar Heels. No matter what, it's going to be fun. The action's on Tennis Channel. Be sure to check it out. We'll be back, of course, tomorrow with our coverage of the Division III women's semifinals in singles. We'll also have the Division III men's final as well. But for now, for our fantastic intern, Archit Suresh, our super producer, Daniel Westoff, I'm your host, Alex Gruskin. This is our Cracked Racquets pregame show. We hope you all enjoy the match.